The voices came first, muffled like someone had wrapped my ears in cotton. I couldn't open my eyes, couldn't move my fingers, couldn't scream even though every part of me wanted to. "She's been like this for 3 weeks." Kendra's voice cut through the fog, sharp, impatient. "The doctor said she might never wake up." I tried to move. Nothing. My body was a prison. "I'm calling the insurance company," Kendra said. I heard footsteps, a door closing, then her voice again, clearer now. She must have been standing near my bed. "Hi, yes, I'm calling about policy number 8472193, Teresa Dawson. She's a vegetable. Brain damage. The doctors don't expect recovery." A pause. "I need to cancel the premium. We can't keep paying $890 a month for someone who's never waking up. We need the refund." No. No. No! I screamed inside my head. My fingers wouldn't twitch. My eyes wouldn't open. The machine beside me beeped steadily, betraying nothing. "Thank you," Kendra said. "I'll sign the forms today." The flatline sound came next, but it wasn't real, just a test, a nurse checking equipment. But for one terrible second, I thought I was dying, thought Kendra had won before I even got a chance to fight. I woke up on a Tuesday. The sunlight hurt. Everything hurt. My throat felt like sandpaper. A nurse rushed over when I opened my eyes. "Miss Dawson, you're awake." She pressed a button. "Dr. Phillips, she's conscious." Relief flooded through me. I was alive. I was awake. Everything would be okay now. Except it wasn't. The hospital administrator walked in 2 hours later. Her smile didn't reach her eyes. She carried a folder that looked too thick to contain good news. "Miss Dawson, I'm Angela from billing. First, we're thrilled you've recovered, truly." She sat down. "However, we need to discuss your account. Your medical power of attorney, Kendra Dawson, canceled your insurance on September 12th. That was 2 days after you were admitted. The insurance company processed a full refund of your premium payments for the year, which means," she opened the folder, "you're personally responsible for all costs incurred during your stay." The number at the bottom made my vision blur. $480,000. "That's impossible," I whispered. "I heard her. I was in a coma, but I heard her cancel it." Angela's face softened with pity. "September 12th. Does that date match what you remember?" It did. Exactly. The day I heard her voice. The day she called me a vegetable. The door opened. Mark walked in first, my brother, carrying grocery store flowers. Behind him came Kendra, wearing designer sunglasses and a smile that looked painted on. "Tess, you're awake. Thank God." Kendra's smile didn't move. "We've been so worried."
I waited until Angela left. Then I looked at my brother. "Mark, the insurance, why was it canceled?" Kendra answered before he could. "Tess, honey, we had to. The premiums were draining your checking account. Honestly, we thought we were saving your estate. The doctor said you might never wake up." "You called me a vegetable." Her face didn't change. "I was emotional, stressed. You can't imagine what we've been through, Tess. Visiting you every day, managing your bills, your apartment." "My apartment?" Mark cleared his throat. "We had to clean it out. You were 3 months behind on rent. We moved your stuff into storage." "You moved me out?" My voice cracked. "We didn't have a choice." Kendra's voice rose. "We were trying to protect you. The landlord was going to sue." I stared at Mark, my brother, the person who used to defend me on the playground. "You let her cancel my health insurance." He looked down. The doctor said." "You should be thanking us," Kendra said. Her voice had changed, colder now. "We handled your affairs. We made the hard choices. Now you're awake and you can pay the hospital back. Problem solved." "With what money?" I whispered. "You canceled my insurance. I have a $480,000 bill." Kendra adjusted her purse. "That's not our problem, Tess. We did what we thought was best." She touched Mark's arm. "We should go. I have a meeting with the contractor at 2. They left.
The flowers stayed on the table, already wilting. The eviction notice came 6 days after I was discharged. I was still dizzy, still weak. The hospital sent me home with medications I couldn't afford and instructions to rest. Instead, I packed my life into garbage bags. The basement apartment I found was $600 a month. The ceiling leaked, the windows didn't close right, mold grew in the corners. But it was all I could afford. I ate instant noodles on a cardboard box that served as my table. My phone buzzed with Instagram notifications. I'd forgotten I still followed Kendra. Her latest post stopped me cold. Kitchen renovation finally complete. Blessed. Home goals. Transformation. The photo showed marble countertops, gold fixtures, custom cabinets, the kind of kitchen that cost real money. I zoomed in on the image. My hands shook. Those countertops weren't cheap. Quartz, maybe, or real marble. I looked around my basement. Water stains on the ceiling, a hot plate for cooking, a mattress on the floor. Then I looked back at Kendra's kitchen. Something didn't add up.
The doctor said I needed another month before returning to teaching. My body wasn't ready. I still got dizzy standing too long. My hands shook when I was tired. But bills don't wait for recovery. I took the only job I could get, cleaning houses. Cash under the table, no questions asked. I scrubbed toilets and mopped floors while my teaching certificate gathered dust. The third house I cleaned belonged to Nicole Brennan. She recognized me immediately. "Teresa! Oh my God, I heard about your accident. How are you?" "Getting by," I said, emptying her trash. She didn't know what else to say. Rich people never do when they see you fallen. But she talked while I cleaned, about her renovations, her book club, her friends. "Kendra Dawson just redid her whole kitchen," Nicole said, scrolling her phone. "Have you seen it? Gorgeous. She said her inheritance came early. Lucky girl." I stopped scrubbing. Inheritance? From her grandmother or something? She posted about it, said she felt blessed. Nicole kept scrolling. Must be nice, right? My inheritance came early. Kendra's parents were alive. Mark's parents, our parents, were alive. There was no inheritance. My car broke down on a Wednesday. Rain poured. My phone battery was at 4%. I called Mark. "Hey, Tess." He sounded distracted. "Mark, my car died. I'm on Riverside. Can you pick me up? I'm getting soaked." A pause. Kendra needs the SUV. She's got a photo shoot for her brand launch." "Mark, I'm standing in the rain. I'm sick. Please?" "I'm sorry, Tess. I can't." He hung up. I walked 3 miles home in the rain. By the time I reached my basement, I was shaking with fever. My clothes stuck to my skin. Water dripped from my hair onto the concrete floor. I peeled off my wet clothes and wrapped myself in the only blanket I owned. It smelled like mold. That night, I dreamed about the kitchen, about Kendra standing in front of those marble countertops, smiling, about Mark turning his back while I drowned. When I woke up, my fever had broken, but something else had broken too. The part of me that believed family meant something. The text came 2 weeks before Thanksgiving. "Kendra, hey Tess, want to come for Thanksgiving? Would love to see you. Bring Tupperware, we'll have tons of leftovers you can take home." Smiley face. I stared at the message. Bring Tupperware, like I was some charity case collecting scraps. I almost said no, but then I thought about that kitchen, about the inheritance, about Nicole's words. I needed to see that renovation up close. Me. "I'll be there. Thank you." Kendra. "Yay! See you at 2 p.m. Love heart." 2 weeks. I had 2 weeks to prepare myself to walk into the house that my health insurance probably paid for.
The house looked different, bigger. The walkway had new pavers. Expensive landscaping lined the driveway. Kendra opened the door wearing a cream sweater that cost more than my rent. "Tess, come in." The kitchen took my breath away. White marble everywhere. Gold hardware on custom cabinets, a farmhouse sink, pendant lights that probably cost $400 each. Mark stood by the island, looking uncomfortable.
Hey, Tess. I couldn't speak. I couldn't breathe. My health insurance is on these walls. What do you think? Kendra twirled. We've been renovating for 3 months, finally finished. It's beautiful, I managed. Cost a fortune, she laughed, but worth every penny. The contractor said these countertops alone were $18,000. $18,000. I was living in a basement with mold on the walls. Excuse me, I whispered. Bathroom? Down the hall. I locked the bathroom door and sat on the floor. Tears came hot and fast. My chest hurt. Everything hurt. Then I heard voices. The house was old, Victorian. Sound carried through the vents. Kendra's voice drifted up from somewhere below, clear as a bell. Mom, you should see Tess. She looks awful, like a homeless person. Another voice, Kendra's mother. Well, that's what happens when you don't plan ahead. Canceling that policy was genius. The refund check was $40,000, paid for the quartz exactly. Mark felt guilty, but I told him Tess is too brain-fogged to figure it out. 3 weeks in a coma? She probably has permanent damage. I stopped crying. My whole body went cold. $40,000. The insurance refund. For the countertops. Mark is too spineless to stop me anyway, Kendra laughed. And Tess, she's a charity case now. No money, no insurance. She'll be grateful for whatever scraps we throw her. My hands found my phone. They were shaking, but I opened the voice recorder. I hit record just as Kendra said, she'll never know, and even if she suspects something, what's she going to do? She can barely afford groceries. A floorboard creaked under my weight as I stood. The voices stopped. Silence. I held my breath. My phone kept recording. After 5 seconds, Kendra's voice came again. Quieter now. Did you hear something? Probably just the house settling, her mother said. I flushed the toilet, ran the water, made normal sounds. When I came out, Kendra was in the hallway. You okay? You were in there a while. Just feeling dizzy, I said. The accident. I still get weak sometimes. Her face shifted to fake concern. Oh, honey, do you need to lie down? No, I should probably go. I'm not feeling well. But we haven't even eaten. I'm sorry, I can't. I grabbed my coat. Mark appeared. Tess, stay, please. I can't, I repeated. I headed for the door. Kendra followed. At the doorway, she hugged me. Her perfume was expensive. Everything about her was expensive. So glad you came, sweetie, she whispered. We'll pack you some food to take home. I got in my car, closed the door, checked my phone. The recording was there. 23 minutes. Clear audio. I whispered to myself, to the steering wheel, to the universe. I'm going to bury you. The storage unit was small and cold. I hadn't been here since Mark moved my stuff. I found what I needed in the third box, my law school textbooks. I'd dropped out after 2 years when Mom got sick. Never finished, never took the bar. But I'd learned enough. I carried the books to my basement and started reading. Insurance fraud, fiduciary duty, medical power of attorney abuse. I read until 3 a.m. Then I made notes, highlighted passages, built a case in my mind. By morning, I'd found it, the statute I needed. Fiduciary fraud. When a person with legal authority over another's affairs acts in their own financial interest rather than the interest of the person they represent, they commit fraud. Penalties include restitution, punitive damages, and criminal prosecution. Kendra had medical power of attorney. She'd canceled my insurance. She'd taken the refund. She'd committed fraud. I kept reading, kept building, kept planning. The law was clear. I just needed proof. And I had it. On my phone, in her own words. The joint account was something I'd forgotten about. Mark and I opened it in college for shared expenses. We barely used it anymore. But legally, I still had access. I logged in from the library computer. My hands shook as the page loaded. There it was, 3 months ago. A deposit, $40,000, labeled Insurance Refund, T. Dawson Policy. Then, 2 days later, a withdrawal, $40,000. Memo, Elite Home Contractors, Kitchen Renovation. I took screenshots, downloaded statements, printed everything. The paper trail was perfect, undeniable. Kendra had stolen my insurance refund and used it to renovate her kitchen. I walked out of the library with a folder full of evidence and something I hadn't felt in months: hope.
Derek Shaw had been in my law school study group. He'd graduated, passed the bar, built a reputation as a lawyer who ate corporate fraudsters for breakfast. I found him on LinkedIn and sent a message. He called me 2 hours later. "Teresa Dawson, I remember you. Top of the class until you left." His voice was warm. "What's going on?" I told him everything: the coma, the cancellation, the kitchen, the recording. When I finished, he was quiet for a long moment. "This is insurance fraud, medical power of attorney abuse, possibly elder abuse statutes, depending on how we frame it." He paused. "Tess, this is a slam dunk case. The only question is whether you want to go after just the money or destroy them completely." "What do you mean?" "Restitution gets you the $40,000 back. Punitive damages gets you triple that. Criminal charges put her in prison." His voice hardened. "I hate influencers who think they're above the law. I'll take this case on contingency. We don't just want the money back, Tess. We want punitive damages." "What do I need to do?" "Nothing. Let me build the case. You just live your life. And if Kendra contacts you, be the defeated victim. Let her feel safe. Let her think she won." I hung up and stared at my basement ceiling. For the first time since waking up, I smiled. Kendra's text came on a Sunday. "Hey Tess, hope you're doing okay. I know things are tight. Do you need anything?" I stared at the message. Derek's words echoed. Be the defeated victim. Me. "Actually, I hate to ask, but I'm short on groceries this week. Could you spare $50? I'll pay you back." 3 minutes later, a Venmo notification, $50, with a note, "Here you go, hope this helps," and an emoji, a praying hands emoji. She felt generous, charitable, superior, exactly where I needed her. I forwarded the screenshot to Derek. His response: "Perfect. She feels untouchable. Now we strike." Kendra's Instagram post appeared 2 weeks later. "Exciting news! I'm launching my brand, Kendra Collective, a lifestyle brand about family, values, and gratitude. Join us for our launch party on December 18th, live stream at 7 p.m. See you there." The post had 2,000 likes in an hour. Then came the private message. "Tess, I want you at the launch party. It would mean so much to have family there. I'm doing a whole segment about gratitude and supporting loved ones through hard times. I'd love to mention how we helped you." A prop. She wanted me as a prop to show how charitable she was. Derek called immediately. "Did you see the post? She wants me at the party." Perfect. A live stream with 200 guests. That's where we serve her. Serve her? With the lawsuit, in front of everyone, on camera. We let her build her little brand launch, let her feel successful, and then we take it all away. Public, permanent, viral. My heart pounded. When? The 18th, right in the middle of her speech about family values. I closed my eyes, pictured it. The crowd, the cameras, Kendra's face when the process server walked in. "I'm in," I said. Me to Kendra. I wouldn't miss it for the world. I spent my last $200 on a suit. Black. Professional. The kind I used to wear to court hearings during law school. I looked in the mirror. I didn't look like a victim anymore. I looked like someone who knew exactly what she was doing. The Uber pulled up to Kendra's house at 6:45 p.m. The place was transformed. White lights everywhere, a red carpet, actual cameras.
I stepped out of the car and walked toward the house that my insurance money built. Inside, the house was packed. Influencers, sponsors, people in expensive clothes holding champagne. Kendra stood on a small stage in the living room, talking to a camera. Behind her, a banner read, Kendra Collective, Family, Values, Gratitude. She saw me walk in. Her eyes widened slightly. I wasn't wearing basement clothes. I was wearing power. Tess, she waved. I'm so glad you came. I didn't wave back. I just walked through the crowd toward the stage. She looked confused, then nervous. Good. Kendra tapped the microphone. Everyone, thank you for being here. This brand is about the things that matter most. Family, supporting each other, sacrifice. The crowd clapped. Phones recorded. The live stream chat scrolled with heart emojis. I want to talk about my sister-in-law, Teresa, Kendra continued. She pointed at me. She went through something terrible this year, a medical emergency, and we were there for her, supporting her, making hard choices. That's what family does. The crowd murmured approval. I saw Derek at the back of the room. He nodded. Then a man in a suit stepped forward. The process server. Kendra Miller? The man's voice cut through the room. Kendra smiled, confused. Yes? He walked onto the stage, handed her an envelope. You've been served. The room went silent. Kendra opened the envelope, her face drained of color. What is this? I stepped forward. The camera swung to me. The live stream chat exploded. I took the microphone from Kendra's hand. It's the bill, I said calmly, for the quartz countertops and my life. Gasps rippled through the crowd. While I was in a coma, I continued, Kendra had medical power of attorney. She canceled my health insurance. She took the $40,000 refund, and she used it to renovate this kitchen. The camera zoomed in on Kendra's face. She looked frozen. I woke up to a $480,000 hospital bill. She woke up to new marble countertops. I held up my phone. I have recordings, bank records, everything. The live stream chat went insane. Comments flooded in. Fraud. Sue her. Oh my God. Kendra tried to grab the mic. This is insane. I was trying to help. You called me a vegetable, I said. I heard you. While I was in a coma, unable to move, you stood next to my bed and called me a vegetable. Someone in the crowd gasped. Phones recorded everything. Mark pushed through the crowd. Tess, this is... You chose her kitchen over my life, I said. You're named in the lawsuit too, Mark. His face went white.
The sponsors left first. I watched them slip out the back door, pulling their branded banners with them. Then the guests started whispering, pointing, recording. Kendra tried to shut off the live stream, but it was too late. Thousands of people had watched. Screen recordings were already spreading. Derek stepped onto the stage. I'm Teresa's attorney. We're suing for insurance fraud, abuse of medical power of attorney, and punitive damages. The evidence is irrefutable. Police arrived 10 minutes later, not for arrests, but to document the assets. Pending investigation, Derek explained. Fraud cases meant frozen accounts. Kendra sat on her expensive couch in her expensive house, crying. Mark stood in the corner, silent. I walked to the kitchen one last time, touched the marble countertops, cold, beautiful, bought with my suffering. You wanted to be famous, I said to Kendra. Congratulations. Then I walked out. The court case took 3 months. Derek was right. It was a slam dunk. The judge ruled in my favor. Full restitution, $40,000. Punitive damages, $120,000. Legal fees, $35,000. Kendra had to sell the house to pay. The kitchen she loved so much went to strangers. Mark divorced her 2 months later. He called to apologize. I didn't answer. I moved into a real apartment. 2 bedrooms, windows that closed, no mold. My hospital debt was settled. My insurance was reinstated. I started teaching again.
6 months later, I sat in a park reading a book. The sun was warm, my medication was paid for, my body was healing. My phone buzzed, a news alert. Former influencer Kendra Miller sentenced to 18 months for insurance fraud. I read the headline twice. Then I closed my phone. She wanted to build a brand about family values. Instead, she became famous for something else, for betrayal, for greed, for thinking she could steal someone's life and call it charity. I turned the page in my book. Somewhere in the city, Kendra was packing for prison. Somewhere else, Mark was living alone. And I was here, alive, free, finally at peace. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me where you're listening from. Drop a comment and let me know if stories like this mean something to you. And if you want more stories about fighting back, about survival, about justice, hit subscribe, because I'm not done telling my story yet, not by a long shot.